What is up, everybody? Welcome to the, I believe, 5th episode of the Hi, I'm Tom podcast on the Hi, I'm Tom YouTube channel. I'm here after a long day at the office, here to talk sports with all of you. Thank you, everybody that is here supporting the channel, watching the videos, hitting me with likes, hitting me with comments. I very much appreciate it. I'm just here sitting, relaxing, going to have fun talking sports with you. I got my comfy, relaxing, warm clothes on because the apartment up here is actually a little chilly. We haven't turned the heat on yet because it is, in my opinion, not far enough into the season to be turning heat on yet. So we'll just have to bundle up a little bit. But we're not here to talk about me bundling up. We're not here to talk about how cold it is because it is fall. Duh. You know, it gets cold in the fall. I don't know if you all knew this. But we're here to talk about sports, and because it's what I love to do. I know I said also, I think I might have said one of my other videos that I'm going to probably do things other than sports sometimes, but I don't know. I love the sports flow. I love, it's literally, this is one of those like good and bad times of the year for me because like I'm used to, when you have baseball season, you're used to baseball literally every single day. There was literally something sports related to watch every single day. But when you get to this time of year, basketball plays like every other day. Hockey, they play like every other day. Football's every Sunday. There isn't something to watch every day. Like I'm getting excited about the Knicks in about an hour because, I'm recording this before the Knicks game. And, I'll be excited for the Knicks for all of like 15 minutes and then I won't be anymore when they start losing. Even though that game against Memphis a couple nights ago was actually pretty cool. I didn't, in the beginning, I was working a show that rents our studios. Like I mentioned in one of my other videos, I work for the Grindhouse Radio. I'm a partner and host of the Grindhouse Radio, an editor, and all the technical stuff. That's me. And we are a pop culture celebrity interview talk show that we do. That goes live every Thursday, anywhere you could find a podcast, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we have our own studios, and shows can come in and rent our space. And if you rent the space, odds are you're gonna get me engineering. And that day I was out engineering a show, and I had to watch the first half while I was working, and then I caught like the end of the game in my apartment. And in the beginning, I was like, "Oh, this is just going to be a typical Knicks game. They're going to get steamrolled by a potential playoff team, and we'll be asking questions like, "Oh my God, how bad are the Knicks really going to be?" And that's kind of what it looked like, you know what I mean? In the beginning, it just looked like Memphis was going to run away with it. The Knicks were making some rough passes. They just didn't look all that great. But then, towards the end of the game, they mounted a little bit of a comeback. Cam Reddish hits an ice cold three just right from the corner to tie it, and you just felt really good going into overtime. But the Knicks are the Knicks, and they don't come through in overtime. And obviously, we're sitting here. Grizzlies win, and I believe the Knicks got the Pistons tonight in Game 2. So we'll see how that shakes out. But I guess when you're talking about the Knicks, you got to be talking about moral victories. You know what I mean? Like you got to talk about games that you wouldn't necessarily think they'd be in, but they actually wound up in. You didn't think that they would beat Memphis, but they wound up at the very least making it a game. So you'd have to imagine, okay, so they're taking steps forward. But, I'd imagine you want to see, Knicks fans, long-suffering Knicks fans probably want to see a little bit more progress. But obviously, they still lack that big superstar. Jalen Brunson was a nice ad, but you still lack that big-time superstar. You need, unless R.J. Barrett is about to take that gigantic leap into NBA superstardom, the Knicks are still going to be without that. Still going to be really missing that. But I wonder if that's really the goal of this year. Is the goal of this year to be a big time playoff contender try to solidify yourself as a viable franchise actually no, that probably is the goal. The goal is to probably make yourself look like a viable franchise that has good building blocks and good pieces around it so you can coax another superstar to come in because we missed out on Donovan, or I hate we. They missed out on Donovan Mitchell. They probably aren't going to get Giannis, but the big one was Donovan Mitchell in the offseason. They missed out on that, so you're still searching for that superstar. Kevin Durant and Kyrie a few years ago didn't come here. Donovan Mitchell didn't come here because apparently the Cavs did not. I mean, the Jazz did not want to trade him to the Knicks. I guess the whole, the Danny Ainge and what's his name? Oh my God, why am I blank? Leon Rose. There we go. The Leon Rose, Danny Ainge stare down did not go the Knicks' way, but it's just the Knicks, man. That's just the way it is. You just gotta hope that they can show some level of competency, so some disgruntled superstar can be like, New York doesn't sound too bad. Madison Square Garden's a nice arena. The fans are really passionate. I am gonna go there. I am gonna go there and try to save the Knicks because nobody's been able to. Virtually my whole life, the Knicks have been terrible. I was born in '92. I grew up in the late '90s, the mid to late '90s. And then the early 2000s and stuff. And the Knicks were okay for a while, and it's just been a dumpster fire for the vast majority of my life. And it's typical. I'm a Mets fan, I'm an Islanders fan, I'm a Giants fan, and I'm a Knicks fan. So the only one that gives me any sort of hope the only one that's given me some semblance of success has been the Giants because I got 2 Super Bowls out of it. That's why I'm continuously chasing that high with the Mets, because I would just, if I was that excited for the Giants, I would be that much more excited for the Mets. But you see, I just jump from sport to sport. But, so as I'm going through my days, or as the day, especially on a show day when I'm looking to actually record something, I got a notebook and I jot down some topics that I'd like to talk about today, or the day that I'm recording. And the first one I got today is the retro reverse jerseys. So, the NHL has been doing these retro reverses for a little while now. They take some old styles or they make new jerseys off of old styles. So they take some old logos or they take some old patterns and they just kind of rework the jersey for these teams, and they come out with something that either looks really bad or really good normally. And ESPN did a good job of ranking they did an okay job of ranking all of them. I don't necessarily agree where they ranked most of them, but I got it pulled up right here and we can take a look here. So we got, first off, at number 32, we got the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, you're going to see some other ones on this list. One in particular that I believe deserves to be at 32 a lot more than Tampa. Now, I understand the gripe. There's a lot going on here. You got the waves. It looks like it's raining a little bit. You got the lightning bolt, and I really don't know what's going on the shoulder. I don't know if that's supposed to be like lightning bolts or something like that, or weird lightning strikes. I don't get it. But I kind of like it. I like that it's got a lot going on. I like that it looks different. It's cool. It's not just, a solid color and some lines on it. It's it's got a design. You know what I mean? I actually really like that. I don't think it deserves to be number 32. I'm going to show you later which one deserves to be number 32, and ESPN ranked it way too high. But this one I thought was really good. I think it deserves to be a little bit higher than where it is. Philly, you could probably flip-flop these two at the very least, because Philly's just looks lazy as hell. It just looks like they took a white jersey and threw the Philly logo on it, the Flyer logo on it. This just looks... It just looks like garbage. And I know it's a safe bet. You could probably see somebody buying that jersey that isn't necessarily a hockey fan. They're just doing it to be trendy. You could see someone probably buying that. But in terms of just a nice retro reverse, I don't see anything cool here, anything interesting. You know what I mean? It looks like there's a sensor bar along the bottom and orange and black sleeves. It just looks so lame. And I'm not being biased because I hate the city of Philadelphia. This is a very lame jersey. And I think this, of all, if I don't understand how that gets ranked better than this. I like that Tampa took a risk and made it look different and cool. Philly was like, just give me a white jersey with some orange on the sleeves and we'll call it a day. Calgary might be worse only because it looks like somebody messed up on a fax machine. What am I, 100 years old? Looks like somebody messed up on a printer. Oops. I just clicked away from it. Now we got to scroll all the way to the bottom because I'm hitting buttons. Damn it. There we go. It looks like somebody messed up sewing on this jersey. You got that weird like half sash going across the middle. Like this jersey would look so much cooler, and I feel like I would like it so much more if it wasn't for this. This is so unbelievably distracting. Like it takes away from what could have been a really cool looking jersey, to be honest with you. And Calgary is known to have some really awesome looking jerseys, like those red ones that they usually wear. Fire. Play on words. Calgary Flames. Fire jerseys. But these aren't. These look like crap. I hate this. This literally it seems so minute, but this ruins it for me 100%. I would move this down to 31. Like I would put this at 31 and this at 32 because I still think this is worse. Thinking about it, I think this is worse. I'm moving up. This is lame as hell. Toronto Maple Leafs. I may hate the Leafs, but this is literally just a regular Maple Leafs jersey with white on the shoulders. Like is it retro because the Leafs are a really old franchise? Is that really it? Is that the only reason why it's called a retro reverse? Because I don't see anything that makes this flashy or cool or different. It looks like you took the safe route and was like, just give me here. Just give me one of our home jerseys, and I'm just gonna throw white on the shoulders. It's lame as hell. The Blue Jackets, I'm a little indifferent on. I don't really know how I feel about them. I was never a huge fan of the Blue Jackets logo, and I don't know. I think these look kind of lame. I'm not a huge fan. Like if I was a Blue Jackets fan, I would probably just stick to whatever. I'd probably just stick to either the home or aways. Like these don't really pop for me. I would like maybe a little bit more red or something. I don't know. I don't know what they could have done different. I just know this ain't it. This is definitely not it. Ottawa, yeah, kind of boring. It kind of looks like that. It kind of looks like that the Ottawa Senator in here has a nosebleed and it's bleeding down the side of the jersey. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it's not all that cool. The top kind of looks kind of vacant. There's like just nothing up here. You know, I don't know. I don't really like it. I don't really like it at all. I kind of like when the numbers are like on the bottom of like on the middle of the sleeve. I think that does look kind of cool rather than up near the shoulders, but I don't know. I feel like of all the teams in the NHL, the Ottawa Senators probably have the weakest jerseys to begin with. Like regular home and aways, not even counting retro reverse. Ottawa Senators probably got to be bottom tier of the league, like in good jerseys. They don't do it for me. The Canes, again, boring as hell. Like this just looks like a regular Hurricanes jersey, like Canes across the front, like. We're gonna get into some more that like they took some risks and did something to be like a cool design. Again, like I would rather I'd rather them do what Tampa did and take some risks, do some cool designs, make it look like, you know, they were the Tampa Bay Lightning, make it look like a storm is on the jersey or something. Like this is the Hurricanes. I have no idea what you could have done better, but you could have done better than this. You could have given me something a lot cooler, some cool designs on the jersey, you know what I mean? Like, not just Canes across the front with some weird boxes on the bottom. Like, it just looks stupid. It doesn't, like, I think you're supposed to come out with these retro reverse jerseys to get people excited about the designs and the logos and the looks of them, so they go out and buy them. If I was a Hurricanes fan, why would you buy that? Why? Is it because the logo's stupid on the jersey? Like the logo's stupid on their regular jerseys anyway, so you'd rather go with just something that says Canes? Because let's be honest, the Hurricanes logo is dumb. I understand it's to symbolize a hurricane, obviously, duh, but it just looks stupid on the jerseys. I hate the Hurricanes, if you couldn't tell, but this jersey is just not it. 26, I would put you. I'd probably flip-flop you with Columbus and put you at 28 or something because I think Columbus at least looks cooler than this. Maybe it's because blue's like my favorite color, so I'm a little biased, but... Nashville Predators, again, Nashville Predators one is kind of boring other than the fact that the logo looks cool. I like the big tooth the big like saber teeth on the saber tooth tiger. I think that looks cool. Other than that, again, it's just pretty boring. Just flat yellow with black sleeves. Like, again, I'd like you to take some risks. You know what I mean? Like, I understand you want to be safe because you want people to maybe like the jersey so they go out and buy it, but maybe take some risks and people will like it more. Because, again, if I'm looking at this, I'm like, why am I going to go out and buy that when I got a perfectly good yellow jersey at my house that's their regular home jerseys that they're going to wear night in, night out playing at home? Why would I go out and buy this? Like I don't know. I'd like to see teams take more risks. Take more risks on your retro jerseys. Give me some cool designs. See, the Kraken did. It's weird that, and I feel like it's even weird that we're talking about the Kraken having retro reverse jerseys because they just came into the league last year. So it's not really like a retro reverse. It's like a third alternate jersey or something like that. But I think they're kind of cool. I always like the Kraken color scheme. But again, I think it would have been awesome if you got like a different Kraken design or something, you know, like maybe like a real like Kraken, like octopus like creature or whatever. Like I feel like that would be cool instead of just going with the typical Kraken S. Like I like it. Like I like the Kraken. I like the Kraken theming. I like their logo. I like the color scheme that they usually go with. But I would have liked something a little bit more. I would like something different because this looks like a Kraken third jersey. You know, like go something a little different. I don't even know how you again. I don't know how you do a retro reverse of the Seattle Kraken because like, what's retro about them? You're just gonna do like oh, our retro reverse is our home jersey because, you know, last year would be considered retro because we're brand new. Like maybe if they like inverted the colors, like did like the navy blue up here and then the teal here, maybe that would look cooler, but I feel like they could have done a better job. I like the colors. I like the color scheme. The logo I do still think is very cool, but I think they could have done a better job with this. I think this could have looked a lot more fun than it initially does. Buffalo Sabres, there are a lot of people hating on this jersey. I don't hate it as much just because I like the colors. I love the buffalo. I love that they're going back to like the real buffalo head. Again, it could just like, I think that another problem with it is it kind of looks like it could be like a practice jersey or like a pregame warm-up jersey. But I think I'm just like my school colors were blue and gold, so I think I'm kind of like a sucker for this. I don't think it's terrible. I think you probably could have had a little bit more excitement on this, but I like these. I like these, very simple. I like the buffalo head. Love the color scheme. You could have probably done a little bit more, but for the Sabres, I'll take it. This right here is so lame. It's like Chicago and Detroit. You're going to see Detroit in a minute. Somehow they wound up higher on this list. I don't know how it is, but Chicago and Detroit virtually did the exact same jersey. Like they just mimicked each other, and they both look like crap. Just Chicago across the front, those weird stripes. I don't know if Chicago is trying. It says that they're trying to. It's inspired by their 1938 uniforms. I don't know if they're trying to get away from the Native American head, you know, because they're probably going to change their name at some point. But these were not it. These just look like absolute hot garbage. It just looks not. It's just not fun. Again, it's not risky. It's not a cool new design. It's just Chicago across the front. It's like when Mike Ditka used to wear those Bears sweaters that just said Bears across the front. Now those are pretty cool. My brother's got one that says Giants, like an old 80s Giants sweater. This just does not look great. This just does not look like a great retro reverse. Minnesota Wild, I love the color scheme. I think I would have liked, the thing I would have changed on this though, because I love the green, I love the yellow, love the white. This looks cool. Love the shoulder pads. Like it looks like a solid retro reverse jersey. I just would have liked to maybe change the logo a little bit. You know, maybe instead of doing just the bear head, do like maybe like a full bear or something like that. I think that would have been cool. Because you're already differentiating yourself enough from the Bruins because you got the forest pattern in the head, and you know, you got the moon or sun right there. Like maybe do like the full bear or something. Then maybe that would have been cool. Again, something different rather than just a flip-flop of colors or a changing of colors. Because this is virtually just a regular Minnesota Wild jersey, just with some just a color change. But I do like these. If I was a Minnesota Wild fan, I would definitely buy one. These look really cool. The Devils, I really don't know how to feel about the Devils. I can't stand the Devils, and I don't know. I don't like them. I think I'm just being biased because I just don't like the. To be honest with you, I think I'm just being biased because I just can't stand the Devils. That's probably where my opinion of this comes from. I like maybe that they added some extra color. I can't tell if that's blue. I think that's blue or like purplish right here, and then you got the yellow. I don't know. It's very meh to me. And again, it's because I hate the Devils. I just like to make that clear. I am being an absolute hater because I can't stand the Devils. Winnipeg Jets. Winnipeg Jets, very basic jersey. And I know that I've been ragging on all the other ones that are very basic, but I just blue's my favorite color. I love the colors on the jersey. I love the white, the blue, the logo's pretty cool. These are great. These are good. These are okay. I would say they're okay of all of them. I don't think they're amazing. I don't think they're the worst. They're okay. Dallas Stars. I think the Dallas Stars are great. I actually really like these. They look better than those stupid Newport jerseys. Like, you know what I'm talking about. If you're a Dallas Stars fan or anybody that watches hockey on a regular basis, you know the Dallas Stars, the black and green ones that look like they would be on the cover, like they would be cigarette pack branding. This looks better than that. It brings back to their old 93, 94 jerseys, like the Mike Modano years. I like these. I like these a lot. Dallas Stars, you did a good job. Pittsburgh Penguins, the thing is, like, I hate the Penguins. I hate the Penguins so much. I just can't stand them, but they always have really cool jerseys. Like the color scheme, they have the same colors as the Boston Bruins and did a really good job of being able to differentiate themselves from the Boston Bruins. It's got a nice Penguin logo. I love the points down to the number. This just looks like a solid hockey jersey. This is a hockey jersey that a hockey fan could wear, and somebody that's just wearing a jersey to just be fashionable and like they just wanna use it as like a fashion statement. Somebody could wear that. It's very trendy. It's a very nice jersey. The Rangers, personally, I know I might be in the minority. I love New York. Statue of Liberty's cool. The Statue of Liberty logo for the Rangers is the stupidest looking logo I've ever seen. I don't like this one bit. I usually like red, white, and blue jerseys because I'm a Giants fan, but I don't like this at all. I think the Lady Liberty logo is so dumb, and I'd probably still put it in the top 20 compared to the other ones. Like, you know, it's definitely better than Chicago. Definitely better than Buffalo, the Kraken, Nashville. You know, the Canes. It's definitely better than these. Maybe not Columbus. Columbus might be a little better, but I still I don't know. I think the Lady Liberty logo is so stupid. I just don't like it. I like the NYR on the front. Like, put your whole name. Come on. We don't do abbreviations on here. This one might be one of my favorites, and I don't understand how it's not in the top 10. The Anaheim Ducks, they basically took their old Ducks jerseys, their old purple and teal jerseys, and gave them the original colors. Well, not the original, but the updated color scheme, the white, black, orange, and gold with the old Mighty Ducks logo. I love this so much. They did a great job paying homage to the original Mighty Ducks jerseys. I've always loved the logo. I grew up actually loving the Mighty Ducks cartoons, so like, when I was a kid, I want to say I was a Mighty Ducks fan, but I really wasn't because I couldn't watch Ducks hockey. I was an Islander fan. But I do love the Ducks. I do love the Ducks like merch. I love the Mighty Ducks logo. This is just a phenomenal jersey. The only thing that could have made this better, to be quite honest with you, is if they went back to their original purple and teal color scheme. That's literally the only thing that makes this whole thing better. But these look great. They did a great job. Detroit, again, I mentioned before, they got all the way up to 14. I really don't know how because these stink. They are so boring. Stupid stripes, Detroit across the front. Give me the old Red Wings logo. I love that. Just, this looks like absolute hot garbage. So bad. I don't know how it's even in the top 20. I don't even know how it's at number 14. This looks so stupid. If I was a Red Wings fan, I would not spend any sort of money on this. To my knowledge, from looking, I was going to buy an Islander one. We're going to get to the Islanders in a minute. They're like $190. No way in hell would I buy that. That looks like absolute dog water. Washington Capitals, again, another team I can't freaking stand, but oh boy, is this a beautiful jersey. The black, blue, and gold, just the Screaming Eagle across the front, that just looks really awesome. If I was the Capitals, I would ditch the red jerseys and I'd go with these on a regular basis. Like, go back to these. These just look phenomenal. Like, these look great. I would even put these higher. I would even put these in the top 10. I know they're just outside at number 13, but I would put these in the top 10. Easy. Easy peasy. These look great. This is one of my absolute favorites. I don't know how it's not in the top 5. The Vancouver Canucks, the navy blue, the green, and the white just is a phenomenal color scheme. I love the skater on the front. That's a great logo, and I love the numbers on the chest. That looks awesome, really awesome. Canucks did a great job. I would buy that if I was a Canucks fan. The New York freaking Islanders did what is making old Islander fans freak out and get pissed off. They brought back the Fisherman. I love it. I'm a child of the 90s. This is the Fisherman logo is the logo that I became familiar with the Islanders with. Like when I first started getting into hockey, they wore these jerseys. Well, not these jerseys, but they wore the Fisherman jerseys. Now, there's a lot of people pissed off because it's not the Fisherman logo. Like, they wanted these. Let's see if Matt Barzell, Fisherman jersey. They wanted this, basically, right here, or this. This is what the world wanted. This is what Islanders fans wanted. And I get it, because I love this jersey. I still own this jersey. This is what they wanted. That's not what we're doing. Where did it go? This is what they got. You know, they don't got the teal on the shoulder pads. It's not, you know, there's no wave at the bottom. The lighthouse patch isn't there. But I think these still look phenomenal. Because, look, I think it was the retro reverse is to take the inspiration from the past and make it look more like a modern jersey, or make it look like something new. You know, retro reverse. You know, like alter that stuff. And I think this is great. I love the logo. I love that it's not just a navy blue jersey with a logo on it. It's got the nice parts. It's got the nice lines near the shoulder, orange and white lines. I love the font for the numbers. You know, it was one of those things where when I first saw it get leaked, it looked like it might have been a black jersey because it was just a low quality picture that I was looking at, and I was like, damn it, I don't need another black jersey. They look like crap. But no, it's a really nice navy blue. You get the teal in the hockey stick, and you get the teal in the wave on the logo. It's just a phenomenal jersey. I don't know how people hated on this. I think they probably just hated on it because the Islanders were so bad initially when they were wearing them. But it's great. I can't wait to get my hands on one. I'm gonna have to grab myself a Matt Barzell one, but I would even put this in the top 10. I think these look absolutely great. The only thing I don't like, and it's not even about them, it's about the Adidas jerseys, is I don't like those weird like indents on the shoulders. If you bought a new Adidas hockey jersey, you know what I'm talking about. It's those weird like just bumps, not bumps, but it's like the indents on the shoulder. I don't understand them, but this looks great. I can't wait to get one. I love it. I'm so happy that the Fisherman logo is back. And there's that it's just pissing off all the old Islander fans. They're like, oh my God, this signifies the worst era in the franchise's history. It's a jersey. Get over it. To be honest with you, even in their jerseys now, the Islanders have had some pretty down seasons. You know what I mean? Like, sure, we had the 80s, the blue jerseys and the white jerseys, the typical Islander jersey that they wear now. Sure, they won 4 straight cups in the 80s. I wasn't alive to see it. They wore those and were still bad in some eras. A jersey is not going to just bring on misfortune. Get over it. Maybe this team will change their mind about the Fishermen because maybe they'll be competitive. Last night against the Devils wasn't so great, but you know, maybe we'll get there in a minute. But Islanders, in short, you did a great job. I would put these in the top 10. The fact that this made it into the top 10 blows my mind. These are horrendous. I hate the freaking, it looks like somebody cracked an egg on a flying gear logo in the middle. Like this, like, I don't know how this is in the top 10. I would move the Islanders up into the top 10. I would move this into the top 10 if I needed. Like, literally, interchange this one, the Capitals, like the Ducks. Like, interchange any one of those into that top 10 spot. And I think I'm okay with it because this just looks like this. It looks like crap. Like, what does this have to do with the Oilers? Why does it look like, again, they're cooking a runny egg on the side of a gear? This looks like crap. I hate that. The Boston Bruins, I actually warmed up to this one. I wasn't a huge fan initially when I first saw it, but you know, the more and more I looked at it, I was like, this actually looks really cool. I love the bear on the front. I love like the jagged lines right here. It's a very clean, nice looking jersey. I can't wait to see them play with it on the ice. This one of my favorites, Arizona Coyotes. Great. Love the colors. Love the coyote head, and then I love the desert like scene in the bottom. Like it looks like they got mountains, the sky, red sky, and you get the cacti. This looks awesome. Too bad the Arizona Coyotes stink, because you're not gonna, I don't know who's going to be buying a Coyotes jersey, because I don't know who they even have on the team at this point, but these look great. I have no problem with them being in the top 10. I might even move them up a little bit higher. St. Louis Blues, love these. I love again, for the similar reasons why I like the Sabres. I love the colors. I love the St. Louis. I love the way the font for the letters. I love the logo just behind it. The stripes look cool. This is an all-around very, very nice and well-done jersey. Vegas, lame as hell. No idea how this made it to 6. I don't like this. I don't like when teams are just like, we're just going to put words across the front of the chest and call it a day. No. This looks like crap. Do something cool, man. Do something gambling related. Do something Knights related. Like, do something cool to make this look a lot better than just it's saying dumb Vegas across the front. Make it look cool. Take some risks. There were some teams that took some risks. Sure. Sometimes when you take risks, you get this, and it looks like garbage. But sometimes when you take risks, you get this, and it looks great. Or you get this, and it looks great. Or you get this, and it looks great. Absolutely bad job out of the Vegas Golden Knights if they were like, however this got done. This looks like garbage. Colorado, again, warmed up to me. I like the white really pops with the rest of the jersey. I think this does look really cool. I like the little peak right here. This is great. These look really awesome. I really don't got much else to say. These look cool. I'm a big fan. Kings, I'm always a big fan of the Kings color scheme when they're not doing that stupid black and silver. I love the purple, gold, and the white looks awesome. The crown looks great. These are all around awesome jerseys. They almost look like practice jerseys, but these do look really good. Big fan. Canadians, I do like these. I don't know if I would put them at number 3, but I do like these because I just like the colors. The light blue, the dark blue, in contrast to the Red Sea. I think these look very cool. I hate the Canadians, but I do think they did a good job. Sharks, I know that they did this after what was a team called the Seals. I don't really know much hockey history, but I don't know. I don't like these. The colors are cool, but I would have liked to see something shark-related on here. They're the San Jose Sharks. Like, I would like to see maybe a cool shark logo or something more than just it saying Sharks across the front. I don't know. Number 2, I think, is stretching it. But finally, number 1, and I think rightfully so, is the Florida Panthers. This just looks great. The sun in the back with the cross, with the stick and tree cross right here, X right here. This looks awesome. I love the blue, the red shoulder pads with like the yellow outline right here. This looks great. They did a phenomenal job. I think they are right on the money putting this at number 1 because I just think it's the best one they got right now. So these are all the retro reverses. I can't stand Vegas. I can't stand the Oilers. Those look like crap. Detroit stinks. Let's see, what else was it? The Devils were meh. Chicago stinks. Seattle meh. Nashville meh. Hurricanes stink. Ottawa Senators boring as hell. I mean, the logo I guess isn't too bad, but these aren't grabbing me. There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good ones, but there's also a lot of ones that I could really take or leave. You know what I mean? I guess maybe they're gonna do these every like 2 years or something, but I don't like. I'm not a huge fan of any of these. Any of the ones I had mentioned, I'm sorry. There are some I like. Blues I like a lot. Colorado I like. They're good. LA Kings I like. The Islanders I obviously love, but we just went through this. I'm not going to do it again, but that was the retro reverse stuff. I was very excited for all of that. I was going to go buy one, and then I found out they're like $190 a piece, and I don't know if I'm going to get one yet, but Christmas is around the corner. Maybe I'll get one when the Christmas bonus hits the bank account. We'll see. But on the Islanders, it was a really rough game last night against the Devils. Oh, boy. I felt like they just didn't look prepared, and they just didn't look like they were fast enough against the Devils. Like, it looked like the Devils were out skating them. It took them like halfway through the first period to even get their first shot on goal. The Islanders I'm speaking about, obviously. Like, they just looked like they were getting outworked. And, Sorokin can only do so much. The dude was standing on his head, making save after save after save, and he was getting, like, no help out of the rest of the team. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's a common thing with the Islanders. Year after year, we just keep saying they need more scoring. They need more scoring. They need more scoring. And Lou doesn't really do much to address that. Wally's looked pretty good. I love that. Oliver Wahlstrom, he's looked pretty good. Barzy, I feel like he still needs some help. He needs another winger, somebody to just help him, stretch the ice, maybe score a little bit more on when he's not going. And the team's a little old, you know what I mean? Like, Durs isn't young, Brock isn't young, Parise isn't young, Matt Martin, Casey Zizekas, Cal Clutterbuck. Like, there are a lot of aging guys on this team. And I feel like they need to infuse a little bit more youth, a little bit more speed to keep up with the rest of the NHL. And I'm curious to see what they do going forward, like how they make these adjustments. Because they have a rookie head coach now. Lane Lambert is not I'm pretty sure, unless I'm wrong, hop in the comments and let me know if I'm wrong. I believe this is his first coaching trip. This is his first head coaching experience. He was obviously an assistant under Barry. Sounds like Barry and Barzy didn't really like each other, and that might have attributed to Barry Trotz's firing. But the team didn't look super prepared for the Devils. I believe they're 2-2. They play tomorrow against. Let's take a look at who they're playing tomorrow. They are playing. I feel like they are playing the Tampa Bay Lightning. Oh boy, I am so excited to have to play the Lightning, especially after that game last night. I don't know. It's gonna be a very interesting Islander season. They didn't look great in the preseason. They obviously had that down year last year, but we're gonna attribute that down year last year to that crazy road trip and the team being decimated by COVID. Like, this is still a team that was able to make it to back-to-back conference finals. It's just you wonder if those back-to-back conference finals and the age of a lot of the players on the team and the trying season it was last year, you just got to wonder if they're going to be able to keep up this year. You just got to hope. And you got to hope that when it's needed, if it's needed, and they need to go out and address the scoring problem, you just got to hope that Lou is going to do it, even though he's been here for 4 years and has yet to get another competent scorer on this team. Because they've needed it ever since. It's impressive that they were able to make it to back-to-back conference finals and still need a bona fide scorer, another bona fide scorer. We just got to hope that this year is the Oliver Wahlstrom coming out party, and he's just going to light the league on fire and just be a scoring madman. Because, look, he's got a great shot and is proving why he deserves the playing time. But last night was terrible. I'm glad we got a night off tonight. Take the night off, regroup, go play Tampa. I will try to enjoy a Knicks game later. But what else do we got? Oh, yeah, the New York Yankees. They're 0-2. Or, well, not 0-2. They're down in the series 2-0 to the Houston Astros. And, we kind of expected a lot of this because the Astros, I don't think it's really... I mean, I guess it's close because they were, the two best teams in the American League all year. The Astros are light years better. They have a better pitching staff. They have a better bullpen. And I believe they have a better lineup. And this is kind of something that we were expecting. But you know what we weren't expecting? The excuse train. Holy crap. I grew up a Mets fan, so I hear all the excuses. I hear everybody trying to make excuses for losses and doing everything that they can to sound like sore losers and have the loser mentality. I'm a Mets fan, so I'm used to all that. I'm not used to it with the Yankees. The Yankees usually put their heads down and admit when they were getting beat, and that's it. But in that game, too, we had Boone blaming that the roof was open, Severino saying that Bregman got lucky on that pitch. I believe Kyle Higashioka said something similar about Bregman getting lucky on that pitch. So we got guys getting lucky, and we got the roof being open as the reason that the Yankees lost. Not because that they can't hit, not because that they can't pitch. It's because the roof is open, and it's because Alex Bregman got lucky. That's why. It isn't because in Game 1 the Yankees struck out like 17 times and the bullpen couldn't hold it down after Tyone actually gave you a really good start. the bullpen couldn't help you. In game 2, it wasn't because Luis Severino gave up a 3-run jack to Alex Bregman, and the offense couldn't do anything else to get themselves back into the game. It had nothing to do with that. It was all the Astros got lucky, and they left the roof open. That's why this is happening. Give me a break. Like I was taking a little bit of a baseball hiatus because the Mets got bounced, and I was just really annoyed because, I watched a team win 101 games and then not go far in the playoffs whatsoever. But I love baseball. It's my favorite sport. So, I'll check back in from time to time, and, the Padres-Phillies series looks like it's going to be a lot of fun because, it looks like it's two kind of evenly matched teams. And who would have thought that, because Philly looked like a dumpster fire during the year, but two evenly matched teams. And in the other league, in the American League, it looks like the Astros playing a team that they're just going to walk all over. Now, to be fair, I think they brought it up on one of the sports radio shows today. The Yankees had to face the 1 and 2 starters for the Astros, while the Astros had to face the 3 and 4 starters for the New York Yankees. Well, now the Astros coming to the Bronx are going to have to face Garrett Cole and Nestor Cortez, and the Yankees are going to have to face the 2 bottom starters for the Houston Astros. And this is kind of the put up or shut up time for the Yankees. Coming into the Bronx, you got to take at least one just to show that you're not alive. Because if you go down 3-0, it's a wrap. You really have to win both. You really got to sweep them sweep both games coming to the Bronx, because if you even go down 3-1, you have to imagine it's a wrap, because then the Yankees still got to win 3 straight. And I'm just not confident that they can. Because Aaron Judge, after Aaron Judge's historic season, he's been kind of a no-show in the playoffs. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa stinks. Hicks is hurt. He stunk anyway. Josh Donaldson stinks. Anthony Rizzo, you're waiting for his back to give out. Giancarlo Stanton, he's actually hitting in the playoffs, but he still does strike out a bunch. Who am I missing? Harrison Bader is having a nice playoffs, but he's not anything all that special. Gleyber Torres hasn't been the Gleyber Torres that everybody was expecting him to be. When he was in the playoffs against the Astros years ago and everybody was freaking out like, this man is 23 years old. He's going to be one of the greats in the game. Not the case. Sure, he's got a nice glove, but he doesn't hit consistently. And you know what I wonder? Aaron Judge, obviously Yankee fans love Aaron Judge. He's their best player. He's the clear-cut MVP. It's not even close. He had a historical season. I totally get it. But if the Yankees pay Judge, like most people think they should, and probably think that they will, just simply because he's the best player on the team. He had a career year. He's the American League home run king, because the real home run king is Barry Bonds. The Yankees can't let him walk. But let's just say, for hypothetical purposes, Aaron Judge is a regular season player, where he's a guy that he's gonna carry you to the he can carry you to the postseason like he did this year. But when postseason comes, he kind of hits a wall and turtles up a little bit and doesn't perform like he did in the regular season. How soon do Yankee fans turn on him? If the playoffs end, if the Yankees get bounced from the ALCS, okay, and Judge still does this, just not Aaron Judge-like performance in the playoffs, and they still pay him because, again, he was their best player, he was their MVP, he carried them to the postseason, because, again, if you took Aaron Judge off the Yankees, they're probably lucky to even make the postseason. If he struggles the following year in the playoffs again, do the Boo Birds really start singing? Do you start fielding phone calls on sports radio stations saying, oh my God, Aaron Judge can't cut it in the playoffs. He's not good enough. He's not clutch enough. He's a regular season player. Do you get that? I think you do. Because I think Yankee fans are getting desperate here. It's been 13 years since the last World Series. They're starting to feel like me as a Mets fan, even though you have no right to, because you've seen so many titles in your life, but you're starting to feel like me, where there's generations of Yankee fans, or there's age groups of Yankee fans that don't know what a World Series looks like. They weren't old enough for 2009. They don't really remember the 2009 winning Yankees. They weren't alive for the 90s Yankees that were winning a bunch of World Series. There's a large grouping of Yankee fans that don't know the winning Yankees. They know this Yankees. They know this Yankees who sure, they make the playoffs, but they get bounced. They're getting desperate. They're getting desperate because they're not the dominant team that we saw in the 90s and the early 2000s, and it's crazy. I feel like you see that desperation when you start calling out players being lucky or stadium roofs being open as to why you're losing games. It's not because your team's not. It's totally those reasons. It's not because your team's just not hitting a lick. Because that's ultimately what it is. I mean, you can't rely on the Yankee bullpen, which was crazy to say because going into the season, you thought that the bullpen was going to be a strength of theirs. You thought that all the starters were going to have to do was go 6. All they'd have to do was go 6, and then the bullpen would come in, close the game down, Clay Holmes will be a stud, and the game's over. You just have to have a lead through 6. That's what the thought was going into the season, and that has not been the case. Aroldis Chapman stinks. The only bullpen arm I think that they really trust right now is Wandy Peralta and maybe Marinaccio, but the bullpen's a little suspect. The back of the rotation is now a little suspect, especially Severino. Like I said, giving up that 3-run bomb to Bregman. Tyone did give them a good start in that first game, but again, bullpen blew it, and the offense striking out 17 times. So ultimately, I don't think the Yankees are going to get swept. I don't think they're just gonna roll over and die for the Astros. I think that they'll get at least one game, but no, I think we're headed for a Houston Astros versus hopefully San Diego Padres World Series. And the only reason I say the Padres is because I would like it to be the Padres simply because if that happens, I can at least say, oh well, at least the Mets lost to the team that made it to the World Series. I could at least maybe have a silver lining to all this, but And plus, I really don't want to see the Phillies in the World Series. I can't handle that. No, I don't want to see Noah Syndergaard getting a ring. Screw that. I hate Philly. And I don't want to see them win. F that Jazz. But I'm recording this on Friday, Saturday, probably when this gets uploaded, if it doesn't get uploaded tonight. You will see Yankees versus Astros from the Bronx. I believe Garrett Cole is on the mound for that game. And he's had a good run in the postseason. But again, I think I might have even mentioned it last week. I did not believe in the Guardians. The Guardians won the AL Central by default because that division was just absolute hot garbage. This is Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole is going into a start against a competent, best team in baseball-esque team. That was teamed twice in terrible grammar, but still, he's going in against one of the better teams in all of baseball. So this is going to be a real test. Can Garrett Cole be the dominant Garrett Cole that you've seen for 2 games in the playoffs, or is he going to be the Garrett Cole that turns into a pumpkin when things get tough and Yankee fans are booing him off the mound? Because that's also a possibility. I don't know. I'm obviously picking the Astros to win this series simply just because I think they're an all-around better team. I think they got a better rotation, they got a better bullpen, and they got a better lineup. They got a better lineup 1 through 9 than the New York Yankees do. The Yankees got some outs. The Yankees got some automatic outs in that lineup. Maybe not automatic outs, but they got guys that are not producing. I mean, when you strike out 17 times in a game, your almost whole lineup is not producing. And one of those guys is Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is not being the guy that they need him to be in the playoffs, and it's a problem. It's showing, if anything else, this series is showing why Aaron Judge is the MVP. Because Aaron Judge is not being the Aaron Judge in the regular season, and the Yankees are not winning. So obviously Aaron Judge is a clear-cut MVP, and I think the Astros are going to win this series this weekend, and I think we're setting up for a Houston Astros versus San Diego Padres, hopefully World Series. That's where I think we're headed. And everybody complains oh my God, I can't believe the Astros are still here. They're cheaters, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. If anything, I wonder if the Astros win the World Series this year, if this vindicates their 2017 World Series. You know what I mean? It's sure, they cheated that season, but if they win the World Series this year with kind of sort of a similar roster, you'd be all right, they're just really good. They're just a really good franchise. Plus, it'd be cool to see Dusty Baker get a ring. Can we be honest here? The dude's been in Major League Baseball for years, managing teams for years. The dude deserves a ring. Dusty Baker deserves to win a World Series. So, Houston, go win it for Dusty. I think that's your job. Go win it for Dusty Baker. So what else we got? What else we got? Let me take a look at my notebook. Oh, yeah, Jim Irsay. Oh, my God. So, obviously, we spoke about last week, Dan Snyder. He's trying to go scorched earth on the NFL. And he is saying how he's hiring a private investigator and has files and dirt on all of the different various NFL owners. And he's gonna expose everybody. And the NFL is obviously preparing themselves to probably face some litigation, and they're preparing themselves for what ultimately might happen. And Jim Irsay comes out and he's like, I think we got merit. He comes out and just straight attacks. Like, he's got merit. He's like, I think we got merit to kick Dan Snyder out. You know what I mean? Challenging the dude. You know why he's challenging the dude? Because Jim Irsay's private life and his skeletons, they ain't in a closet. They right out in the open. You know what I mean? They knew about we know about the DWI or DUI. We know about the addiction problem he had. We know all the shady, not so great things that Jim Irsay's done. There is no truths that Dan Snyder has to uncover. So you'd have to imagine that when all of this came out, when Dan Snyder was threatening to come out and expose everybody in the league, you'd have to imagine that all the owners got together in a meeting and were like, okay, Jim, it's your time to shine. Go out and get him. Because there's nothing that Jim Irsay is almost bulletproof in this situation. We know all his problems. We know all his issues. So what's Dan Snyder going to do to him? Nothing. Unless there's something crazy behind the scenes, he's going to do nothing. But that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, I obviously want Dan Snyder out because he's a garbage human. He abuses some of his staff. He just does not sound like the greatest human being. But what I will say is, I want to know, assuming it's all true, assuming the evidence and the dirt that Dan Snyder has is true, I want to know. I want to know how many, because it's if you were to tell me that more than half of the owners were garbage people going in, I would believe you. If you were to tell me that Jerry Jones is a garbage person, I'd believe you. Robert Kraft, I'd believe you. Even John Mara, I'd believe you. Because they're just gigantic, wealthy billionaires that, 9 times out of 10, they got seedy pasts or seedy presents. Look, again, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. Obviously, you're innocent until proven guilty. But I would like to, if Dan Snyder's going down, let's see some of those skeletons. Let's see what you got. Take everybody down with you. Let's see what these guys are hiding. You know what I mean? Like, add to the drama, because that's what makes the NFL fun. It's the play on the field and the drama that comes with it, or that comes on the back end, that comes behind the scenes. It's what keeps everybody involved. There's some people that just love watching football, and there's some people that just love watching drama. It's what makes the NFL the perfect combination of sport and reality television, and mash them together. And that's how you get the NFL. It's full of fun, competition, and drama behind the scenes. And this is a big one. Dan Snyder going scorched earth, trying to take out all the NFL owners that are trying to take him out. It's just wonderful television. And if there's really bad things that Dan Snyder's got on these guys, I hope they see some kind of punishments. But I just want to hear what he has to say. I want to hear, again, I want this to come out as I'm on the side of Dan Snyder. He's a garbage person, and I think he should be forced to sell his team, because I don't think anybody that's an abuser or treats his staff the way he treated staff, or allowed or cultivated or had a culture developed in his building that was bad for staff. I don't think anybody like that should be allowed to own an NFL team, should be allowed to hold that kind of power. But I would also like to know the skeletons that the rest of these owners have in their closets. I think it would make for a very interesting conversation and a very interesting problem that the NFL will have to deal with. What do you do about all of these sleazy owners? So it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this shakes out. I would imagine it's going to be shaken out in a courtroom for the most part, but it's going to be very interesting to see how this all unfolds. If Dan Snyder's going down, I'd like to see who he tries to take down with him, but it won't be Jim Irsay. because Jim Irsay's problems are all public. We know what happened. Other news, so I recorded an episode last night, and it was, talking about some of these same topics, the Yankees, the retro reverse jerseys, the Jim Irsay stuff. But something happened last night that it made me want to redo this episode, was Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey's getting traded to the San Francisco 49ers from the Carolina Panthers as they begin their fire sale because, they have nothing. Baker stinks. Sam Darnold stinks. They need to rebuild. Matt Rule's gone. They need a full rebuild. And they traded Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers for a second-round pick in 2023, a third-rounder in 2023, a fourth-rounder in 2023, plus a fifth-round pick in 2024. Now, I think this is good for the Panthers because they get a lot of picks, so they could start stockpiling picks, so they can make some nice additions in the draft or maybe trade to get some other assets. But for the 49ers, man, I don't know if this is the best idea. Like, are you telling me that you're going to get Christian McCaffrey because you think you can go win a Super Bowl with Jimmy G? Because I don't think Jimmy G's looked amazing this year. I don't think he's looked bad, but I don't think he's looked amazing this year. Like, I wouldn't consider the San Francisco 49ers play like Super Bowl contenders by any means. So what are you trading all these picks for? Especially if you expect Trey Lance to come back next year, why aren't you keeping those picks to get more players to put around him, or maybe more players for the defense, or just more things to bolster your team rather than trading for a running back that gets hurt all the time? And sure, he might add a new wrinkle to your offense, but are you ready to win a Super Bowl right now? Are you? I don't know. I don't really believe in the Niners. Like, granted, I have Christian McCaffrey on my fantasy team, and do I think Kyle Shanahan's going to find ways to get him the ball and make him more productive in San Francisco than he was in Carolina? Absolutely. But does Christian McCaffrey make the San Francisco 49ers a Super Bowl team? I don't think so. I don't believe in Jimmy Garoppolo because I think Jimmy Garoppolo was lucky to even make the Super Bowl the last time he made it. I don't know. This was it was an interesting trade, to say the least. Like, I would have expected maybe the Bills to make a jump for him because the Bills are, they look like the best team in football, and a move like that, putting him with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, I think that would have been a great move. Going to Kansas City, an extra weapon for Pat Mahomes to work into the offense, I think that would have been a great move. I don't know about the Ravens because, Kenyon Drake has looked pretty good, and I don't really know about the Ravens as a whole, but like, at least Buffalo I feel like would have been the ideal spot for Christian McCaffrey, but he winds up in San Francisco. I mean, I guess when you really think about it, like, the league this year is pretty mediocre. Like, let's see, NFL. I want to take a look at the NFL standings. NFL division standings. Let's see. I'll pull this up right here. So the Bills are 5-1, Jets are 4-2, 3-3. Let's go to the NFC. How about that? We'll go to the NFC. You got the 3-3 Packers, 2-4 Bears, 1-4 Lions, 3-3 Bucks, 3-3 Falcons, 2-5 Saints, 3-3 Niners, 3-3. Yeah, so it's like a mediocre league. You know what I mean? Like, who would have thought that going into the year, the Eagles, the Giants, the Vikings, and the Cowboys would have the best records in football? I mean, you would have assumed the Cowboys probably because, they're always somewhat contending in the beginning of the year. The Eagles, a lot of people thought would still be good, but I don't know if they thought they would be 6-0 good. But the Giants, nobody expected to even be here. So I guess maybe the move makes them more competitive, but to be honest with you, I don't see them. I don't know. I don't see them. I don't even know if I still see them getting past Minnesota. I think Tampa's going to figure it out. I don't know. I guess I don't really believe in the Rams all that much. They've looked like garbage. Matt Stafford hasn't looked good. Seattle, I don't trust Geno over a full season. And the Arizona Cardinals, I think they're very mediocre as a whole. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe adding Christian McCaffrey makes the San Francisco 49ers a little bit more dynamic, and maybe they could be a little bit more competitive. But I don't know. I'm just not impressed by Jimmy G as a starter long term. And giving up all those picks, even though it's, no first rounders, but giving up all those picks for a running back that is always hurt. He's hurt every year. And I don't know, is he the playmaker that they need to put them over the top to get them in contention and maybe compete for a Super Bowl? I guess when you have a league that's this wide open, yeah. Because right now they're in first place in their division. The Rams don't look scary, Seattle doesn't look scary, and the Cardinals don't look scary. So maybe if you add Christian McCaffrey, having Deebo Samuel, and asking Jimmy G to just not lose you games, and if the defense can hold up, maybe you're winning the NFC West. You're making the playoffs, and I guess once you make the playoffs, you see what happens. I just felt like it was a little weird. I really, really expected like Buffalo to make that jump for him. Because could you imagine Buffalo with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis has been really good, and then you just throw Christian McCaffrey in there, who's, when healthy, one of the better running backs in all of football? Like, the Bills are already a juggernaut and probably everybody's favorite to go ahead and win the Super Bowl, but that would just put them over the edge and make them insane. The Ravens probably could have used them since J.K. Dobbins is now going to miss like 4 to 8 weeks or like 6 to 8 weeks, but I don't know what they even have to trade. Kansas City would have been an interesting spot. Buffalo, like I said, I thought that was the place. I thought Buffalo was the perfect spot for Christian McCaffrey. But now we see the San Francisco 49ers. I guess I didn't realize that they were 3-3 in first place, but then I remembered, the Rams stink, Seattle's mediocre, and the Cardinals are just, again, super mediocre. So we'll see. Again, I've Christian McCaffrey on my fantasy team, so I'm like really hoping that this means Kyle Shanahan's going to get him the ball effectively, and we can have Christian McCaffrey putting up some solid points, because I got to tell you, I am not doing well in my fantasy league, but you guys don't care. Nobody cares about everybody else's fantasy league, to be quite honest with you. You care about your team and you don't care about anybody else's. But moving right along. The New York Football Giants are 5-1. 5-1. I did a whole episode on it last week, a few days ago actually. Put a whole episode out on the New York Giants being 5-1 and how absolutely excited I am for this. But someone explained to me how they're 3-point dogs to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I get it. Totally get it. The Jaguars got Doug Peterson as a head coach. Trevor Lawrence is looking a little bit better. Their defense, at least their defensive line, has looked really good. But they're 2-4. Trevor Lawrence looked really hot coming out of the gate, but now hasn't really been throwing many touchdown passes. Their running game has stalled a little bit. The Giants' defense has been one of the better defenses in football, even with the injuries, not being healthy. Leonard Williams just came back last week. Azeez Ojulari, I think, is going to be on the field this week. Like, their defenses look good, has been holding down the run pretty well, and surprisingly enough, has had a really good secondary. Fabian Moreau, a guy that I would have never been able to name before the season, I think got put in one of the top 10 corners in the league this week. And yet they're going to Jacksonville, and they're still 3-point dogs, even though they're 5-1 and playing really well. Like, I understand that they're a second half team, they're a fourth quarter comeback kind of team, and you don't really know how sustainable something like that is, but still, I feel like you got to give the Giants a little bit more respect because they are 5-1. Daniel Jones is taking care of the football. He's not turning it over. Saquon Barkley is having a great year. And now, to be honest with you, now I know probably what people are probably concerned about is the fact that the Jaguars are very good at stopping the run. And the Giants have needed Saquon Barkley to rush a lot and Daniel Jones to use his legs. But if we saw anything last week, it's that Daniel Jones can help you win with his arm. Because if we remember correctly, the Ravens did a pretty good job holding Saquon Barkley last week. Like, Saquon didn't break out for a crazy amount of big runs. Like, it wasn't the Saquon that we had seen in previous weeks. He did break out for a couple. He did have a rushing touchdown. Like, I'm not saying Saquon didn't look good. I'm just saying he didn't have the success he did in previous weeks. Daniel Jones had to make some timely, good throws. So why can't he do that against Jacksonville? Is it because they're afraid that their defensive line is going to get some pressure? That Josh Allen and I don't remember the guy that they drafted first overall, but that they're going to get too much pressure on Daniel Jones and he's not going to have enough time to get rid of the ball. But I believe Daniel Jones, the only person getting rid of the ball faster than him right now is Tom Brady. And anytime you're in the same conversation as Tom Brady, that's freaking amazing. So I really don't get it. Like, how could the 2-4 third place Jacksonville Jaguars be 3-point favorites to the 5-1 New York Giants? It's because nobody believes in the Giants yet. And I understand. Again, they came back from double-digit losses in the fourth quarter that might not be super sustainable, and still people question the talent that's on this roster. And I get it, because there aren't really many household names on the roster, wide receiver wise or tight end wise, and the defense, maybe you still don't recognize a bunch of names there. But the team is playing very well. Week in, week out, that team comes in prepared. Like, you can tell, like, there would usually be weeks where you'd see, Joe Judge and Pat Shurmur, it would look like they didn't even prepare for the team they're playing this week. But every week in, week out, the Giants are prepared for who they're playing. They're ready. They got a game plan. The game plan so far has worked. Outside of that one Cowboy game, the game plan has absolutely worked. So I'm probably going to bet on the Giants if they're 3-point dogs, easy, because I think the Giants can easily win this game. I also think this could be a trap game. I also think that we're all talking up the Giants, saying how good they are, how surprising this is, and how great all of this is, and how great of a feeling this is. I could totally see this being a letdown game. Absolutely. The Giants going in on their high horse, feeling real good, 5-1, best team in one of the best teams in football. I could see them getting caught by the Jaguars because the Jaguars are desperate. They're 2-4. They need some wins. I could see them getting caught, especially since we have seen the Jaguar offense be better this year. But I still think that is super disrespectful to take a team that's 5-1, competing week in and week out, and make them 3-point dogs to a team that's 2-4. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Boy, they got to deal with it. And the Giants got to go down to Jacksonville and take care of business. And I absolutely think they can. And I think they can on the arm of Daniel Jones. I'm starting to believe week after week that Daniel Jones is showing you that he has the capability to be a very good starting quarterback in this league. I'm not saying great. I'm not saying superstar. I'm not saying he could be in the same stratosphere as Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. I don't think he necessarily has to be. He's just got to be a guy that can win games. And right now, with Daniel Jones at quarterback, the team is 5-1 in second place in the NFC East. And where are they in the wild card standings? Do they have wild card standings yet? I don't think this does. Conference, regular season, preseason league. Yeah, I do not see a wild card standing right now. Regardless, they're in the running for they got to be in the running for the wild card. They're freaking 5-1. So I didn't get it. I would take the bet. If you see the Giants are still +3, I would take that bet. I'm not a great sports bettor, but I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous that the 5-1 Giants are underdogs to the freaking Jacksonville Jaguars. But that's a whole nother story. You know what else I'm pretty freaking livid about? These freaking Gold Glove nominees. They had the Gold Glove nominees for the National League specifically. That pissed me off. So we have right here, there's a few Mets missing. Tomas Nido got the nod at catcher. I guess that's okay. But the fact that the only Met on this list is Tomas Nido is freaking criminal. How is Francisco Lindor, who virtually played the entire season and I believe according to Fangraphs was the number 2 defensive shortstop simply behind Dansby Swanson all year, not on this list? Utility-wise, how is Luis Guillorme, probably one of the shortest gloves you're going to have out of a utility player or even a middle infielder, period, in the game, not in here, not in this utility slot? I don't get it. Look, again, you can call me a homer, you can say I'm just a Mets fan and that's why I feel this way, but Francisco Lindor had a phenomenal bounce back year, played virtually every game except maybe the last 2. He might have had a couple of days off, might have had a day or two at DH, but for the most part, played every single game, suited up at shortstop every single night. And Luis Guillorme playing all over the infield, playing third base when he had to, playing second when he had to, going in for substitutions when Lindor needed a break, and letting during a game, by the way, and he'd go play shortstop. Guillorme did all of that and had one of the surest hands in all of baseball. and doesn't even get mentioned, doesn't even get a nomination for utility player. They announced that they were adding a utility category, and I was convinced they added the utility category simply because Luis Guillorme was just such a solid player in the field, a solid utility player in the field. It's freaking criminal that the Mets that those two players are getting robbed of the opportunity of a Golden Glove. Now, look, I understand World Series is way more important. I get it. I would rather my team be winning World Series than winning Gold Gloves. But I think that these players should be recognized for just how good they were this year. Sure, Francisco Lindor went a little cold towards the end of the season, but defensively was an absolute wizard all year. Literally was a vacuum. Ball was coming to him all year. He got it. He fielded it. I think he might have had 9 errors all year. That's really it. Luis Guillorme, minimal amount of errors and was just automatic. Like the combination of Luis Guillorme and Francisco Lindor on the infield was just was art. It was baseball beauty. Like you could hang that in a museum. So the fact that both of these guys didn't get the nod or didn't get even nominated for a Gold Glove award is just absolutely freaking ridiculous and a total miss by Major League Baseball. I understand Dansby being there because Dansby had a really good year. I totally get it. But Ha-Sung Kim and Miguel Rojas, come on. I understand he's a good player, but Lindor was better. Easily better. And I don't even think it's close. Utility, Brendan Donovan, Tommy Edmonds, Dalton Varsho. I know Dalton Varsho was having a good year. Tommy Edmonds is okay. Brendan Donovan's okay. But Luis Guillorme was an absolute beast at both positions, at second base, or 3 positions, second base, shortstop, and third base. You could literally put him wherever you want on the infield of that diamond, and Luis Guillorme will be a master, will be a glove wizard, a defensive wizard. He will get everything that goes to him. I think he might add like 4 errors this year. That's like minimal, very minimal. I know I'm closing on it. I know I'm closing on a sad note. I don't really like that, but it's really baffling to me that Francisco Lindor and Luis Guillorme didn't wind up on this list. It's crazy to me, absolutely crazy to me. And you guys, if you want to call me a homer, you want to call me a Homer Mets fan, go ahead, hop in the comments, let me know what you think. But it's ridiculous. I'm sorry. Give me an argument. Like somebody give me an argument how Lindor and Guillorme don't wind up on this list. Don't wind up nominated for a Gold Glove. Tell me, please, somebody tell me how that happened. But that's all the time I got, everybody. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much. That's all I got for this video. If you could, please hit me with a subscribe, hit me with a follow, like the video, hop in the comments. Please, please, please. I'm just doing this for fun. I literally come home from work every day, and I write down topics that I'd like to talk about throughout the week, and I pick a few. I might even record an episode just as like a tester, and then I'll re-record later to upload something. I do this for fun. I have a good time making podcasts. I have a good time talking sports. Maybe I'll get some friends to come on and hang out for a little while. I'm just having a very, very, very good time. And if you could, please, like I said, hit me with a subscribe, hit the bell so you know when I'm posting a new video, hop in the comments, hit me with a like, and thank you all so much for being here, and I will see you all on the next video.